Alrighty, hello everybody. We are once again doing this Guess the Banzuke at the last second because I forgot. I've been watching a lot of the World Cup. I didn't watch any of the Paris sumo tournament, which is okay because that has no bearing on the actual Banzuke. And I've been doing a lot of prep for a Kickstarter that I will mention a little bit more at the end of the video, because for right now, I'm sure you guys don't want to hear that. What you do want to hear is Happy Father's Day to any fathers out there. I am one, and I got a really nice shirt that, well, you can't see it because I'm using my VTuber model. But I got a really nice shirt, I got a really nice book, and I got some risers for my anime figures to stand on. So let's just get right into this. Again, it's Guess the Banzuke right off the riff as usual. And you can already see there are so many red compared to very little green, which doesn't usually happen, but you know, when we have a lot of injuries, that is what does happen. Hoshoryu and Onosato will stay the same ranks. Koto Zakura will move... actually, he won't move down. He won't move over. He'll stay at Ozeki because Kirishima getting promoted to... or rather, being the Ozeki... Oh, wait. He was already promoted to Ozeki. So Kirishima will move up to Ozeki 1 East, Koto Zakura will move over to Ozeki 1 West, and Aonishiki is going to be the bottom Sekiwake. Now, the real question is who the Sekiwake are going to be. Obviously, Atami Fuji. Obviously, Koto Shoujo. They both got their winning records. And obviously, Wakataka Kage opening up that Sekiwake spot for himself. 12-3 Yusho at the last tournament. It's going to be very hard to say otherwise. No, he can't skip straight to Ozeki, but here will be a great chance for him to push up. That means Aonishiki falls to Sekiwake 2 West. He is Kadoban. If he gets 10 wins, he returns to Ozeki, and excuse me. And that's all you really need to know about that situation. Occupying Komusubi, now that it has been vacated by the injured Takayasu and Wakataka Kage moving up, we have Yoshino Fuji, the obvious first man up to occupy that spot. And of course, Oho, seeing all the losers ahead of him, is going to leapfrog back up into that rank. Now, the reason why Yoshino Fuji doesn't move up higher than Komusubi is because he didn't have, first of all, Sekiwake already has 4 ranks there. Second of all, even if it was a stronger record, he would just only fall to Komusubi. We've seen it before where Daisho had a very strong, I think it was like the 12-3 Yusho from Maegashira 1, and he only moved up to Komusubi. So I was like, well, not Sekiwake yet, sorry. So he's just going to have to deal with that for a little while. But Yoshino Fuji, Maegashira 2, 11-4 is not a bad spot to start. And Ozeki push, 11 more wins at Komusubi, 11 more wins at Sekiwake. That should secure it. But of course, that is a lot to ask. Let's get into how far some of these guys are going to fall, though. And Takayasu only getting 2 wins, being injured for the rest of the tournament. He's going to fall pretty far. Probably not too far. I'll put him outside at Maegashira 6. And this is kind of where it's going to get interesting. We have so many losers. A good number of them sit at 7 and 8. Fujinokawa and Takanosho, both sitting at 7 and 8, both at Maegashira 1. They're already being leapfrogged by Yoshino Fuji and Oho. Gonoyama is not going to displace either of them. So that's fair. That's a fair assessment, I think. Let me see if I can't, take off the hyperlinks on these somehow. Nah, I guess I can't. But Oho, sitting where he is, Fujinokawa, Takanosho will stay where they are. Gonoyama is not going to leapfrog anybody up there. He will slot in perfectly right at Maegashira 2. Osho Umi, or Churano Umi rather, 9 and 6 for Maegashira 6. It's hard to say whether or not he could possibly leapfrog Gonoyama in that, 1-2 punch. He is a rank and a half lower with 1 more win. Usually if they were back-to-back, like if Gonoyama was Maegashira 5, then Chirano Umi would indeed leapfrog him, but Gonoyama being a half of a rank higher, effectively 1 rank higher, that does call into question, would Chirano Umi leapfrog him? Would he not? I don't know. It's something you can debate, something I don't think we need to debate very far. I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's keep moving down some of these losers. Ichi Yamamoto, he's not going to fall too far. Hirata Umi could very likely hold his spot. Daisho could hold his spot. I didn't actually color these 7 and 8 guys in orange like I usually do, so let me go back and do that real quick. Usually I'm better about that, making them 7 and 8s. Good thing there aren't too many more 7 and 8s, so let's color them in orange so we know that they're likely going to be holding their spots. Getting down to Maegashira 4, we already did Gonoyama Oho, Ichi Yamamoto, falling 1 rank, seems appropriate. Wakamoto Haru and Shodai. Wakamoto Haru 5 and 10. Let's put him outside at Maegashira 10 for now. Shodai is not going to fall nearly as far. Let's put him down to, let's see, it was Maegashira 5. Let's put him down to Maegashira 7. Chirano Umi, we already are moving up. Fuji Seiyun could possibly stay at Maegashira 6. Chiyo Shoma is going to be falling down below Wakamoto Haru. Asakoryu, a stronger losing record, 3 wins, out for injury. That is a 3 and 12. Most of it is not fighting losses, so it's very likely he could just be smack at the bottom of the Banzuke. We'll see. But let me actually count out these ranks, because we have 2 Yokozuna, 2 Sekiwake. I think Maegashira 17 gets eliminated this tournament. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. Yeah, so there will be no Maegashira 17 rank because we have a perfectly balanced Banzuke at the top. Should be Maegashira 16, I think. Asakoryu, he's not going to fall down and out because our Judo demotions are going to be obviously Ryuden, obviously Osho Umi, obviously Tamawashi, maybe Toki Hayate. I'll put him like down right there. He is 4 and 11 from Maegashira 12. A -7 would put him down to Judo. And when we look at the guys moving on up into Judo, Kazuma 12 and 3 from Judo 6, Yusho, Asa Suiryu 10 and 5 from Judo 4. Could likely get him there. Takeru Fuji, he's also 11 and 4 from Judo 2. Daiseisan and Onokatsu 9 and 6 from Judo 1. I'm not sure if we're going to have 5 guys moving up, and maybe Asakoryu does get bubbled out. Unlucky because of his injury. I can check the Banzuke later when it comes to that kind of thing. But let me just get back to moving and shuffling other people around for now. So Oshoma 8 and 7 from Maegashira 8. He's not going to move up too far, but there's really no one else sitting above him. And even when we go further down, maybe Hakuno Fuji leapfrogs him. So let's put Oshoma here. Asa Hakuryu is going to move down to maybe Maegashira 13. Abi is going to stay below him. Nishiki Fuji is going to stay below him. Sanoyama out for injury. Fought for 7 wins, but got injured 7 and 8. Very likely to stay in the same spot, I think. Hakuno Fuji, 11 and 4. Definitely going to be moving on up. Question here might be, does he displace Ichi Yamamoto, or does he just move up to Maegashira 4? Ichi Yamamoto sits on top. I think that's going to be the most likely scenario, where Ichi Yamamoto stays on top. They are usually kinder to those who get losing records, and a 6 and 9 from Maegashira 2 is not that poor of a losing record. On the other hand, though, you have no Yokozuna, and I don't remember if he fought any of the Ozeki either, except for Kirishima. So how strong was that losing record? That is something that might be called into question. Again, I don't think that debate needs to go nearly as deep as we can make it, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Uda, I think he will likely leapfrog Oshoma. Oshoma 8 and 7 from 3 ranks higher. Uda 10 and 5 from 3 ranks lower. If it were 9 and 6, Oshoma would stay on top. But because it's 10 and 5, I think Uda will leapfrog him. Kinbozan, he won't move down that far. Let's slot him right here next to Asa Hakuryu. 5 and 10, 6 and 9. You could probably put Asa Hakuryu above him. That's why I'm going to kind of keep Kinbozan in this little royal of these guys that were 5 and 10 above him. Nishiki Fuji, I think, definitely does fall below him, but we'll split those hairs in a little bit. Let's keep moving people around. Shishi, 6 and 9. He won't fall too far away from Kinbozan. Toki Hayate, I already moved. Yeah, I think we're going to guarantee Toki Hayate moves down and out. Kotoeho, a 10 and 5. Kotoeho is going to be moving up probably near Ura, below Oshoma. Let's put him right here next to Shodai for now. Tamawashi, we already have him moving down. Mitakeumi, an 8 and 7. He's not going to go up too far, so let's slot him about right here, below Asanoyama. Roga, 9 and 6. All these losers above him. He'll stay below Shodai. I think he'll be above Asanoyama. Asanoyama kind of being a little rock here in the middle to kind of determine who will go up and who will stay down. Tobizaru has to stay below Roga. Could be next to Asanoyama. We'll see. Wakamoto Haru might only fall down to Maegashira 9 anyway, so Tobizaru could slot in right here. Oshoumi is falling down and out. Wakanosho has to stay below Tobizaru. Ryuden going to be falling down and out. And then Fuji Ryoga will be moving up, probably leapfrogging all 3 of these guys, staying below Kotoeho, staying below Roga, probably, but will be above Mitakeumi, Tobizaru, Wakanosho. So let's put Fuji Ryoga right here for now, move Roga over to the other side. And this is where I'm going to leave them for the moment, as we kind of try to suss out, will Asakoryu fall or will he not? So let me go to the query, the Banzuke query. Let me scooch this over. This is somebody else's guesses that I will be sure to note later, but for now, we will ask, does someone with 3 wins at Maegashira 7 fall down and out? So, Maegashira 7, 3 wins. I know it's going to pull up a lot of older results too, but let's go to the last page. A 3, 10, and 2 dropped to Maegashira 15. A 3, 4, and 8 might be similar. Let's see. 3 and 12. It doesn't happen too often. It happened to Tobizaru last year. But 3 and 12, Maegashira 15. 3 and 12, Maegashira 16. 3 and 12, Maegashira 14. And then the last example is 1981, Judio. So I think looking at this, going by the most recent results, we're going to do... Whoopsies. I didn't want to close it completely.
Are you busy?
Yes, I am busy. Sorry. Right now, I think we're going to have Asakoryu stay in. He will occupy that last slot, and that means someone gets bubbled out here. Probably going to be Asasuiryu. Could be Kazuma. Let me see. Judio 6 with 12 wins, 3 losses. Judio 1, Maegashira 15, 16. Not a good amount of the time they make it into the Maegashira. Let's see. Asasuiryu 10 and 5 from Judio 4. 10 and 5. Let's look at the most recent results. They also normally make it up into the top division as well. Tobizaru got bubbled out back in 2020. That was an unusual tournament there. But between the 2 of these guys, I think less likely to move up would be Asasuiryu. Takeru Fuji, definitely going to make it. Daiseisan and Onokatsu, 100% make it. It's just Asasuiryu, 10 and 5 for Judio 4. Kazuma, 12-3 Yusho from Judio 6. I don't want to copy homework, but let's see what this guy says. This is Lord Bacchus over on YouTube. I didn't subscribe to him on this account. I have like 10 different YouTube accounts. Sorry, Lord Bacchus. But let's see. He has Kazuma moving up, and he does not have the Judeo 4 moving up. I was already leaning that way, and I think I'm going to agree with that. Let's have Kazuma move up. Takeru Fuji is going to move up above Daisei-zan and Onokatsu. And then we'll have Onokatsu and Takeru and Daisei-zan next to each other. So, how are we going to... It looks like we're going to have to be pushing people up and away from the bottom of the Banzuke. So people like Abi, Shishi, Asahakuru are going to get saved a little bit here. So let's see how cleanly we can do this. Takeyasu 2 wins from Komusubi. Let's see how often they fall. Rank Komusubi wins 2. Let's do the most recent date. Doesn't sort like that. But let's see. Maegashira 8, 8, 9, 6, 9, 8, 5 seems to be the outlier for Daishoho. Looks like Maegashira 8 is where Takeyasu should be falling. So, if anything, I should punish him a little bit more. We could move up Roga and Fujiryoga a bit more. We could also just keep Takeyasu here at Maegashira 7, put Shodai up to Maegashira... Well, he can't stay at the same rank at Maegashira 5, so let's drop him down here. And then we could slot in Uda, Oshoma, and Kotoeho pretty cleanly right there. You gotta remember Oshoma, 8 and 7 from Maegashira 8, will be leapfrogged by Uda, Maegashira 11, 10, and 5. We could debate on whether or not they do get leapfrogged or not, but Hakuno Fuji definitely clears all of them. He is sitting in the appropriate spot. Kotoeho with his 10 and 5 from Maegashira 13. You could call this an over-promotion. You could probably say Shodai only falls half of a rank while Kotoeho gets snubbed a little bit, but I think we're going to keep it as it is because I don't like to overthink. I know I get terrible scores all the time playing this game, but I am not going to overthink. And I just realized I don't have the baby camera in case Gideon wakes up, so I'll be back in a second. Granted, Gideon has been sleeping very well in his own bed. That's a small update there. Gideon has been sleeping in his own bed, and he likes sleeping in his own bed. He actually, like, when he wakes up in the middle of the night, he will run back to his own bed and fall back asleep there. So it's like, okay, cool. Anyway, looking at how we're going to be pushing people up here. Let's see, Roga and Fujiryoga, it looks like they obviously could occupy those spots at Maegashira 8, but let me just double check Wakamoto Haru here. He does have that losing record from Maegashira 5, so Maegashira 5, 5 and 10. Let's see, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 10. So it looks like Maegashira 9 is probably where Wakamoto Haru should fall, so we could scoot Roga and Fujiryoga up. Oopsies. Let's do that right there. Roga, Fujiryoga, Maegashira 8. Looking at their scores, Roga, Maegashira 14. The reason why I don't really double check these lower Kachi Koshi is because they're kind of at the mercy of everybody else anyway. If there were more winners above them, then they would move up less. If there were more losers above them, then of course they're going to fly up because there's no one else to occupy those spots. So having Maegashira 14, Roga 9 and 6 move up to Maegashira 8 is not that out of the ordinary. Like, let me just double check. Maegashira 14, 9 and 6. Highest rank. I think we exclude these two couple up to Maegashira 3, but Maegashira 5, 6, 7, lots of 8s, lots of 9s, lots of 10s. So, yeah, Roga could easily fall to Maegashira 8. Wakamoto Haru sitting at Maegashira 9 seems appropriate. Asanoyama. I did say I don't think Tobizaru will leapfrog him, but given the circumstances, we do have to push a couple of people up, so I think we can. Mitakeumi will stay above Wakanosho, or will Wakanosho be above Mitakeumi? That's another question we could ask ourselves. Because, let's see, Wakanosho 9 and 6 from 2 ranks below. I try to remember what those recent trends were like when it comes to, exactly this, because it happens all the time. I can go back to, the last Banzuke. We see Kotoeho, did he leapfrog Mitakeumi? Yes, he did. So Kotoeho did leapfrog Mitakeumi. In the same Banzuke, Nishiki Fuji, did he leapfrog Asanoyama, the 9 and 6 over an 8 and 7, 2 ranks higher? Nishiki Fuji, let me see, where's Nishiki Fuji? Nishiki Fuji did leapfrog Asanoyama. So even just 2 examples off of that one Banzuke, we can have Wakanosho leapfrog Mitakeumi, and I think we're comfortable in saying that. Now, I, put Asahakuru, Nishiki Fuji, Chiyoshoma down pretty far, but they don't have to go down this far. They could be saved a little bit by this Banzuke luck, giving them a lot of space near the bottom here. So Chiyoshoma, a 5 and 10 from Maegashira 7. Let me just check that real quick. Maegashira 7, 5 and 10. Maegashira 9, 10, mostly 11 and 12s. Mostly 13. So 11, 12, 13 seems to be the range. Chiyoshoma, or rather the more appropriate range. Chiyoshoma could easily slot in there. Keen Bozan, 6 and 9 from Maegashira 11, could realistically only fall 1 rank. Asahakuru, a 5 and 10 from Maegashira 8, 1 rank below Chiyoshoma. We could ease his pain a little bit too. Whoopsies. Yeah, we could ease his fall a little bit too. Scooch up Keen Bozan here. Put Nishiki Fuji at Maegashira 13. Nishiki Fuji at 5 and 10 from Maegashira 9. So all these guys that had those 5 and 10 records kind of falling, not lockstep with each other, but definitely close enough to each other that it makes sense. If we did want to try to keep it like them falling down as a group as possible, I could just scooch over Takeru Fuji, I could scooch over Nishiki Fuji, and like do something like that where they Chiyoshoma falls what is that, 4.5 ranks, Asahakuru falls 4.5 ranks, no, 3.5 ranks, because he's still 1 rank below Chiyoshoma. I feel like I could put Keen Bozan a little bit lower, but losing 1 rank, Nishiki Fuji, 5 and 10 from Maegashira 9, that's not really good. He should fall below Keen Bozan. Kind of the inverse of what we were just talking about with people moving up with similar records. Moving down, I think, should look like this too. And then it looks like Abi and Shishi will slot in perfectly. Let me just double check that. Abi, 5 and 10 from Maegashira 9. Maegashira 9, 5 and 10. Let's see. Lots of 13s, 14s, and 15s. Sometimes to Judio. I don't know why it wants me to translate from Hmong. But 14 is an appropriate fall for Abi. And Shishi, Maegashira 12, 6 and 9. Falling right there is also pretty appropriate. The big question mark I am kind of giving myself is this Asahakuru, Nishiki Fuji, Chiyoshoma fall. Like, should I make Asahakuru and Keen Bozan fall a little bit more? Maybe. Am I pushing Takeru Fuji a little too far up? He was Judio 2, 11 and 4, but we've seen so many times in the past that they are not very kind to those gentlemen moving up the Banzuke from Judio. Like, let's ignore these Maegashira 8, 9s, and 10s, but Maegashira 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I do it by date, that'll give me a better look. But 14, 15, 14, 12, 15, 12. So 12 and 11 aren't that far out of reach, but considering the way things fell, Maegashira 13, now I'm a little more convinced it's more appropriate to put Takeru Fuji where he is now. Asakoryu hangs on by the skin of his teeth, and Asasuiryu will move up to Judio 1 East very likely. So I think this is how my cookie is going to crumble. Let's compare my answers, copy homework, compared to what Lord Bacchus has over here We have the same assessment at the very top. Atami Fuji, Koto Shoho, Wakataka, Aonishiki. I think everyone is going to have the same thing at the very top. Gonoyama, Churano Umi next to each other. I have the same thing. He has Hakuno Fuji moving all the way up to Maegashira 3, displacing the 7 and 8 Hirado Umi, making him fall down half of a rank. I don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that. Because it does make it look better having Hakuno Fuji move up that far. Ichiyamamoto falling a little bit more to make it look a little bit more appropriate as well. But I think I'm going to leave my side as is. Because if I just copy someone else's homework, then we'll have the same score. And I'll never differentiate myself and I'll never win. But yeah, I see what he was thinking here. I don't disagree with it, definitely. Then we have Daisho Ichiyamamoto. Ura Oshoma Kotoeho. I have the same thing. Fujiseiyun, yeah. So we have another solid block that we're copying each other's homework. Takeyasu over Shodai. I have Takeyasu falling below Shodai. That's a coin flip. If I get the hits, I get the hits. If I get the bullseyes, I get the bullseyes. Wakamoto Haru Roga. I have Wakamoto Haru falling a little bit further. So there's another point of discrepancy. I have Wakamoto Haru falling further than he does. I have Roga and Fuji Ryoga above. He has Tobizaru sitting above Fuji Ryoga, which we kind of mathed out earlier, and using the Mei Banzuke as an example, I disagree with that, but, I mean, he could obviously get it right too, let's be real. Then he has Asanayama staying the same rank, Maegashira 10, next to Fuji Ryoga, which he has Chiyoshoma falling to Maegashira 9. I have Chiyoshoma falling a lot further, so he's being kind to Chiyoshoma, he's being kind to Takeyasu, he's being kind to Wakamoto Haru, and I'm not. I'm being very harsh on them. Again, usually they are kind to players that fall down, or players, it's because I have the World Cup on the other screen. Belgium versus Iran is just about to start, but when sumo wrestlers fall from like Maegashira 1, 2, and 3, they're usually kind to those guys. When they fall from Maegashira like 6, 7, 8, then it's like, nope, we're kicking your butt down the curb. We are not caring. So he's kinder, I'm harsher. This is where we're gonna differ, just fundamentally, I think. I'm not saying his answers are wrong, because I am obviously wrong all the time. But it's just we have different philosophies in guessing the Banzuke. Let's see. I stopped at Maegashira 10. Maegashira 11, I have Mitakeumi Chiyoshoma. We already said Chiyoshoma is up where he is. He has Mitakeumi at Maegashira 11 as well. And then he has Wakanosho below Mitakeumi, which, again, we mathed out earlier. I think Wakanosho leapfrogs him. Maegashira 12, I have Asahakuryu Kinbolzan. He has Asahakuryu at Maegashira 8, again being very kind to those 5 and 10s, and Abi at Maegashira 12, which, again, being very kind to those 5 and 10s, relative to me at least. Then he has Nishiki Fuji, or I have Maegashira 13, Nishiki Fuji, Takeru Fuji. He has Nishiki Fuji, Kinbolzan. I'm kinder to Kinbolzan. I have him a rank higher, and I have Takeru Fuji. I'm very kind to Takeru Fuji. So I feel like the bottom of the Banzuke is where everyone is going to differ massively, and this is where most of the points are going to be scored. So again, I am a lot more harsh on these losers than he is being. And then 14, 15, 16, I have Shishi at 14. He has Shishi at 14. He has Takeru Fuji at 14. I have him pushed up to 13. 15 is definitely going to be Onokatsu Daiseizan. And then 16 is going to be Kazuma Asakoryu. Just which side of the Banzuke will they fall on? So, you know, we basically have the same philosophy on these Judio push-ups, but I'm being kinder to Takeru Fuji because I am being harsher on the losers. So that is what Lord Bacchus has guessed. This is what I have guessed. Let me just double check real quick, because again, I'm doing this last second as per usual, but let me just double check if anyone else has posted their guesses. And I might have to put that on hold and help out Gideon. Alright, note to self, cut out a little bit of time around the 30-minute mark. But, yeah, this is his guesses. These are my guesses. Let me see if anyone posted their guesses in my sumo Discord as well, which, again, I haven't really seen any updates on the Paris tournament. Lots of pictures, though. Instagram has been amazing for pictures on the Paris tournament. But, not too many guesses being posted. Let's see, that is not guesses. I don't like to compare myself too much to other people's guesses because, again, I feel like at some point I just start copying other people's homework. But, let's see. Ordinarily, there's a newspaper that has their guesses out, like, super right away. So, here they are. Let's pull this over here, too. Let's see if I remember my kanji. They also have Asakoryu staying at Maegashira 16 in the same way. They have Daiseizan only moving up to Maegashira 15. Same thing with Onokatsu. Looks like... Wow, they are really putting Kazuma up. They're putting Kazuma up to Maegashira 13. That is a hell of a guess. That's a lot of displacement there. But that is a very interesting guess to have. They also have Kotoeho moving up to Maegashira 6, Uda, and Oshoma. I have the same configuration there. They have... let's see. Where do they have Hakuno Fuji going? They have Hakuno Fuji up to Maegashira 3. They're displacing Hirata Umi by half of a rank. That's 2 people doing it. I think I'll have to copy homework there. If 2 people are doing the same thing, I might have to just go with the consensus of Hakuno Fuji up to Maegashira 3. Oopsies. Ichiyamamoto down to Maegashira 4. And I hope I'm not being led astray here. But the rest of the bottom of the Banzuke here is chaos compared to what I did. Chiyoshoma down to Maegashira 10. I put him down to Maegashira 11. Let's see. Maegashira 9, Tobizaru. That's where I have Tobizaru. Shodai down to Maegashira 7. That's where I have Shodai and Takayasu right next to each other. So me and this guess are practically the same going from Yokozuna to Maegashira 7. Let's see. And then it starts to differ as we go further down the Banzuke. So I need to practice my kanji a bit more. Not that I have ever practiced kanji before, but can't really read this. But the house is busy right now, so I am going to leave this video off with a teaser for my upcoming Kickstarter that'll be launching July 10th, my birthday, right before the start of the tournament, which will be beginning July 11th. Day 0 is July 10th. That's what I usually do. And I do hope you enjoy what you're about to see. The link to the Kickstarter, you can start following it now, is in the description below.